Case cover collision. Each and every week I choose a different movie and look at the different case covers for that movie and put them against each other to find out which one is the winner in case cover collision. And this week on case cover collision, I will be looking at the movie G.I. Joe Retaliation. There is a new release coming out soon of a 4K Steelbook, which I am going to be looking at today, the case cover for that movie. But let's first of all, I want to discuss this movie, the second G.I. Joe movie. This one, first of all, it felt like a movie that took quite a while to release. It felt like there was delays forever for this movie, and then it eventually got released. I really liked the first movie, but then they had like a bunch of new additions. Shannon Tatum features in a more small role. It's kind of like a reboot, a refresh of a lot of the characters in this one. A lot of new characters, led by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I keep on trying to tone back the Rock impressions, but yeah, it's got The Rock in there in as Roadblock in this movie, and it's again another really good adventure. Good like Snake Eyes is in there as well. You got him in there. All your usual G.I. Joe characters as well. I really enjoy this. I think for me, it is just a fun action movie, fun characters. It's like a comic book movie, isn't it? It's a comic book movie. This toy range, G.I. Joe, the toys coming to life. The Cobra Commander, all these different characters, these unusual characters, all coming to life in this live action, over the top explosions, over the top fight scenes. I like it. I think it's a good movie. I like the Snake Eyes one as well. I think every one they've done so far, I've really enjoyed as a movie fan. They're my sort of movies. I love these sort of characters who are just like over the top and just super comic booky. That you're just like, yeah, this is my sort of business. This is my sort of movie. Anyway, that's what I think about the movie. But let's look at the case covers. So first of all, we're going to look at this new 4K Steelbook. It's a G.I. Joe Retaliation 4K Steelbook. It includes the Blu-ray, and it is, feature. Look at this, front and center. One character on the front of this cover. You see who they think is the show. The one who's going to get audiences into buying this movie. You have got The Rock on his own on the front cover, all in his kind of like. It looks like he's like Arnie in Commando wear. He's got all his sort of like his jacket, his vest jacket on, his army jacket with all these weapons and stuff on him, and he's just looking into the distance. There's a big shot of The Rock here, and it's kind of like it looks like a bit of like a hand-drawn look to The Rock here. It's like a stylized look to him as well. He's looking into the distance, close-up shot of him, mid-shot of his body though. In the background, you've got this like white background that is then caved with like a red, and I imagine the red is kind of like blood. It's looking like here. In the center, you've got the title text of G.I. Joe in this big white text in the middle of the screen on the chest of The Rock. Basically here, G.I. Joe Retaliation, and yeah, it's a nice looking cover. Very simple cover. What I do like though, I like the colors here. I like the white and the red in the background. I think it really stands out. And then you've got a Rock in there. You look at this guy; he's a beast. I said this with the Black Adam cover the other week. The guy is a mountain. He's a truck. He's a monster truck on legs. That basically the Rock. So you look at this guy and he's in all his army gear. You're going to get kind of like this soldier type movie. Maybe you look at this, you don't expect. What I would say looking at this, and from what I know about this movie and the characters within this movie, it doesn't necessarily give you an insight to what characters you're going to get as well as The Rock, like Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes. I'm look at this and it kind of looks more like a pure military movie where it's like maybe like a Commando, something like that, rather than more of like a comic booky toy line movie, live action movie. So I do like this cover. I like the colors, the use of colors. I think the stylization of The Rock in this is a really good shot of him as well. But I must say, I think it would benefit from featuring a few more of the characters here, just to get a viewpoint for audiences who maybe don't know what G.I. Joe is about, to see that there's more to this movie than just this guy, this army guy in it. And maybe you're thinking, you're looking at it, is this character, is this guy G.I. Joe? What is G.I. Joe? So yeah, you don't look at this and think it's a team-up movie. You think it's just a solo movie of The Rock as this army character, which I think is the only thing letting this particular cover down for this Steelbook. But let's move on to the next cover. We're going to look at the DVD cover now of this movie. So my phone is just going crazy. I got all the images on my phone. Here we go. I think I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. The DVD cover for G.I. Joe Retaliation. Let's take a look at this DVD cover. This for me now is much more what I'm talking about. Where it is now shown this is a team-up movie. It's just not The Rock solo movie. It is a G.I. Joe team-up movie, a bunch of different, a good team, a bad team of characters, and you see them all on cover here. You see all the different characters, Storm Shadow, all the different great characters within this movie. So here we've got, in the middle again, kind of like on a slant this time, the G.I. Joe text, Retaliation, in a white. Then above, you've got all the good characters. Bruce Willis is in there, Channing Tatum's character, Snake Eyes. The female character, is it Lady Jane in this? I can't remember which character that is. Then you've got in the background, you've got like a city landscape, but it is like an orange-yellow colour, like an explosion colour to the background, and it obviously goes on to them characters there, the 5 characters on there. And then on the bottom of the screen, below the G.I. Joe Retaliation text, in more of like a cold, wintry blue colour. And you see again the effects taken on the characters as well, the colour grading is on the characters. You see like Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, and the 2 other characters in there as well. They are all the evil characters, the villains of this movie. So you see the good guys and the bad guys, and you see obviously the costumes of like Cobra Commander. It's not like a military movie. You see now this is like kind of like a superhero type movie, a comic book movie. You get an idea of what you're going to see a bit more. It's going to be a bit more of like that sort of like family superhero type story. You're going to get, family, I wouldn't say superhero, but you're getting a comic book action movie, superhero type movie. You know what you're going to expect. It's not a military, like a commando, what I'm saying. But I love this. I love the use of colours here. I think, having all them characters on the screen as well is a great choice. For me, this is by far the better one so far on Case Cover Collision. I think this is much better than the first one because you get an idea of what you're going to see on screen. And I think if you're going down a movie aisle, you see this, I think you know what you're going to expect more, and I think you're going to be more intrigued to watch it if you're a sort of fan of like them sort of movies. So yeah, for me, the DVD is winning so far on Case Cover Collision. Let's move to the next shot. Right, well, the next case cover, sorry. The next one is the Blu-ray release. This one is a bit different again. Well, very different, I'd say. This is now, we've got all the we've got Snake Eyes, Bruce Willis's character of G.I. Joe on there, Channing Tatum, The Rock, a few different characters, and then we've got The Rock is central to that. He is at the top of it, and then you've got all the other characters sort of like going further down, and then you've got the G.I. Joe text in the white bold text in the middle again. But in the background, you've got like this white sort of it's like a white smoke colour, and then it drops to like a darker grey blue colour, and then you've got sort of like these little bits, little sparks of red flames at the very bottom where you've got like Storm Shadow. But it is a very plain cover, this one. It looks really a very just like a botch cover. I think like it just doesn't, all the characters for me, they look all out of place. They look like they're all looking in like different directions. It feels like The Rock is looking kind of like to the right, sorry. Bruce Willis is looking to the left. And none of it is like, it's bad. Like on certain covers it works well at, but it looks like they're all like, it looks like the shots were just, mismatched shots and the wrong shots put in. They could have got better photography for the characters here. Like Channing Tatum, he's just looking straight on at the camera. And it just looks, it would look better if he was looking more into the distance, like Snake Eyes is, because he's on the same sort of angle as Snake Eyes. So it just looks a bit weird, the cover. It looks a bit like a botched cover, a botched case cover, this one. I think it really doesn't really, it shows you the characters and it shows what movie you're going to get, But for me, it looks like a bargain bin movie. Like, it doesn't look like a big budget movie, which this movie was. And for me, this is a poor cover. It's a poor case cover. I would be disappointed. I wouldn't want this on my shelf. If I was going for the Blu-ray, I'd go for the Blu-ray, which was the DVD case cover. That's what I would go for personally. I don't think it's a good case cover. I think even the 4K with its limited, characters on that cover is better than this, because I think it just doesn't look exciting to me. So yeah, I think so far the DVD is winning on case cover collision. Let's move to the final case cover of this one. Now this one is the next one is the Blu-ray 3D cover of G.I. Joe Retaliation. Now on this, it features very much the same background as the last Blu-ray, but it features all the kind of the problems of the first case cover on the 4K. It has Snake Eyes on the cover, same size as the Rock Roadblock on the first case cover of that 4K. He is front and central. No other characters are on this case cover, and he's got his sword. And look, Snake Eyes is a cool character. I like his look, but again, you don't see any more of the characters. And I think maybe this is a bit better than the 4K, only for the reason that you see this guy in a mask and he's got a sword, and then you're thinking it looks like a superhero type movie, a comic book movie. Whereas like the Rock on the 4K cover doesn't feature that. So I will change my opinion though, and will change my mood to this, and my sort of like look and opinion of this. For that reason, it is a bit more exciting because of that reason, because you've got Snake Eyes, which is a bit more of an interesting character to look at rather than Rock. But yeah, it's got that white silvery smoky background, and I think it's got the Cobra Commander logo, Cobra logo there, and then you've got flames at the bottom of this case cover here. In the central, you've got G.I. Joe in the white text again, Retaliation, and then 3D in big letters. This is a 3D movie. Never got into 3D, never been a big fan of 3D. But where does this stand on case cover collision? I think for me, this one is better than the 4K, better than the Blu-ray, but the DVD is still my favourite out of these. So that means today's winner for case cover collision is the DVD cover, featuring all them different characters of this movie. I think is a great idea for this sort of big team-up movie. All them interesting characters with all their cool looks. You get an idea of what you're going to watch if you're seeing it in an aisle down HMV or wherever you're shopping. And I think it's just a shame if you feature just one character in a big G.I. Joe team-up. It's a team-up movie. It's not a solo movie. It's not one guy called G.I. Joe. It's a team-up of all these different cool characters involved, and that's why the DVD case cover for me is the winner. I think it's a much better cover than the rest of them, and it is the winner of this edition of Case Cover Collision.